What is going on, everybody? Brick Builder here, and today we're going to be discussing how to fix Minecraft PvP 1.8, 1.9, all this mumbo jumbo. We're going to be discussing it, talking about some solutions. But before we talk solutions, we first have to come up with some reasons why I'm justified in talking about this. This is why I feel like I'm knowledgeable on the subject and can actually share my opinion. I have thousands of wins on 1.8 and 1.7 minigames on Hypixel, Mineplex, CubeCraft, Hive, and a countless other PvP servers of different sizes. In addition to that, I also was a part of the first YouTube 1.13 UHC event, so I know all about the 1.13 PvP elements such as the Trident and Elytra, which was added obviously previously. I'm also a 1.8 and 1.9 and now 1.12 and soon 1.13 survival let's player. So I have played survival, so I'm quite knowledgeable in PvE and player versus mob. I've also played hundreds of 1.9 minigames on servers like CubeCraft and etc. And on my channel, Now, why do we have to have this conversation? Because Mojang hasn't given us a legitimate answer yet on what they're going to do, and they're actually looking for feedback, which is why I think now is the good time for everybody to share their feedback. The Minecraft 1.8 PvP community just goes, we need 1.8 PvP back, it's killing the game, blah 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 blah, and they're not really looking at it from all sides. They're kind of looking at it from their perspective and not the overall Minecraft business perspective, etc. So I'm going to try to look at it from more of an unbiased opinion and offer some solutions, different solutions that I think would benefit and that I've heard other players suggest as well. But the reason we have to have this discussion is when you do something as big as changing combat years into a game, it's going to create a polarizing field where you're going to have a left and you're going to have a right for who likes which and who likes which one. So obviously, there's going to be two sides. There's going to be the people who don't either play PvP and they just adapt on because they're like, whatever, we can deal with it. Because the PvP is really what matters in this video. Yes, PvE is a huge element, but PvE is not really what we're discussing, although it is a huge part of survival and UHC and other games like that, and some mini games as well. But there's also the element of the 1.8 players who don't play survival, who only play on servers like Hypixel and Mineplex and other huge networks like that. You've also got the element of people, who just do stuff like that, who are only playing, your Sky Wars, your Egg Wars, your Bed Wars, your Hunger Games, which that's all fine and dandy. I do that stuff all the time personally on the channel, and I enjoy it. But there's a lot of things we got to start with. For starters, one of the reasons I'm going to be discussing this today from an unbiased and more drawn back perspective is a lot of 1.8 players say that by not reverting it back to the old version, Mojang is killing the game, which is false. Mojang is losing money, which is false. Mojang is killing off PvP, which is false. Mojang is essentially responsible for not listening to the community, which is also false. All those things are false, wrong, and simply not true. The 1.8 community thinks that the only solution is we got to bring back 1.8 PvP. The sad truth of it is a lot of players who say this haven't tried 1.9, haven't tried 1.13, don't really care about that. Which, that's a fair claim. You don't have to care about all the different versions of Minecraft and play all the different versions. But there is something to be said about a game that constantly updates, that if you want to stay in an older update, you can, but things are going to change as you go along. Fully makes sense. I fully agree that obviously things should change. But PvP is one of those things that you have to kind of change lightly. Because when Minecraft was first made, PvP was never an intended feature. Multiplayer wasn't even an original feature. But I don't think Mojang could have predicted PvP becoming as big as it can. But there's a lot of reasons why it has. Specifically, it's high action, it's competitive, and there's other elements of it that people enjoy. Of course, there's other elements of Minecraft that can also be competitive and that can also be enjoyable, building, redstone, etc. But PvP is one that just has captured a lot of different players' attention. Now, to claim that this lack of them going back to 1.8 PvP is essentially killing the game is just false. According to countless statistics, the game is growing and we're getting more players than we ever have before. Now, something to mention that a lot of people bring up, there's some pretty popular tweets going around that Minecraft isn't as popular on Google Trends. Google Trends is a thing that ranks searches and search volume, so how much something gets searched. So for instance, compare my channel to Minecraft. Obviously, my channel is going to have a much smaller search ratio to Minecraft because millions of people are searching Minecraft and not millions of people are searching my channel on a daily basis. But Minecraft has slowly declined in Google Trends, and there's lots and lots and lots of reasons for that. The first one being is a lot of those searches were people early on trying to learn crafting recipes or learn how to do things that people didn't already know how to do. It wasn't always so obvious how to craft something or how to make a piston door or things like that. So obviously those were a large amount of the searches. Something as making a potion was searched millions of times, obviously. And as time goes on, the players are going to learn that stuff. And now, with the addition of the crafting recipe book that will auto-craft for you and show you all the recipes if you have the required materials, of course the searches are going to go down. In addition to that, there's tons of people who do survival let's plays on YouTube and do stuff like that. So obviously crafting recipes are going to be shown throughout those as well. So of course, the amount of people who are going to need to learn recipes goes down as to make the game more accessible. And a lot of players who play Minecraft are on different versions that are designed like that, like Xbox and different console versions where you don't need to actually know how to craft something to make it because it tells you how to do it if you have the required materials. So obviously Google Trends are going to go down. Now there are some claims that YouTube views are going down with Minecraft and the Minecraft community on YouTube is dying. That's a whole nother topic, but the truth of it is, it really isn't. So, on to my 3 personal solutions that I would like to see implemented to personally fix the issue. The first one here seems like the one that a lot of people are going to be against, but let me explain. My first one is just to leave PvP as it is now and have people move on or stay with 1.8. A lot of people aren't going to be happy I said that, especially all sorts of people, because 1.8 PvP, oh no, we have to have 1.8 PvP for me to be happy. But the way I look at it is, it's a change they made and the 1.8 PvP community doesn't want to accept it. Now, whether or not you agree, it's a big change, it's a scary change for a lot of players. And it's hard for them to move on and say, well, I'm just going to play this new version of PvP where it's slower and everything I knew about the old PvP system is just gone. Like, I do see that side, and I was once that way too. When 1.9 was first announced, I was like that too. And I can see your side of it, and I see your claim. But at the same time, if the company's focus isn't going to be PvP, which is fine, they don't have to focus on PvP. They don't have to. That's not their job. Their job is to work on Minecraft. Whatever element of Minecraft they want it to be is up to them to decide. So, if they in theory want it to be that 1.9 is the PvP system, because they want it to be PvE based, and that's the way it's going to be, well, then just tough luck. You're going to have to deal with it. It's not my favorite solution, but it is a solution. The next solution is a game rule to choose between 1.8 and 1.9. This one here is like the sweet spot. This is like the perfect compromise for both sides because it allows there to be 1.8 PvP or quote-unquote spam clicking PvP, but then there's also the slower 1.9 PvP, which some people argue is more strategic. Personally, I think both sides are very strategic, but that's my opinion there. The game rule could be something like /game rule do damage something or other. It doesn't, like, the point is I don't need to come up with it. Mojang will handle it if it's something they want to implement. But like, do damage countdown or do attack cooldown, true, false, that seems like a pretty good solution to me. It'd be a command you could run in your survival worlds and on your server. so servers could update fully to other versions, and then they get cool things like the Elytra and Tridents to play around with to make really cool games. Like imagine a game called Trident Tag, where you throw a trident at other players who are running, and if you tag them, they become it, essentially, or something like that. Yes, it could be done with a bow, but if they want to use a trident for different elements, they could. I think that'd be a cool idea, and they'd be able to do that with a game rule. The next solution that I have isn't exactly one that I think a lot of people are going to like, but it's just a solution that I figured I'd throw out there just because a lot of games do this, and it's just an option. So, a lot of the reason 1.9 PvP came down was because a lot of people don't play a lot of PvP or don't play a lot of 1.8 PvP and don't understand things like WASD strafing and rotting and all those different elements, block hitting, etc., would be to do something like this. Because the reason it got slowed down was because people were saying your click speed impacts PvP too much. And there's some fair claims about that. Having to click 10 CPS to be good at a game doesn't make all that much sense. Plus, I mean, it's obviously not good for your hand. I've clicked in Minecraft this past year over 1 million times. I can check that in my Razer Synapses software. So that's how I know that one, in Minecraft alone, in 2017. So that's pretty insane if you ask me. But that's just a thing. And no other game came close to that, despite the fact that I had equal hours in other games, and some days I even had more, and they're PvP-based games. But another option would be to, you hold click, you just hold it, and it does a set amount of hits, like 6 or 7, which is something that everybody can hit. 6 or 7 hits, you know, I think most people can click 6 or 7 CPS, but it wouldn't even matter if you can't, because you would just hold it down, and it would click. It would make aiming a considerable amount easier though, so obviously there are some negatives there to consider. But it's just a possible solution that, hey, could work if it's what people want, which I don't know. Of course, you guys have to let me know down in the comments. Of course, if you have any other ideas on what you think we should do to fix PvP or to move on or etc., whatever it is, let me know down in the comments down below. If you guys did enjoy this little informative video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if we could share it around, that'd be very much appreciated because I would love to see Mojang and the community managers, etc., personal opinions on this and what they think they should do. Just because I know they've been listening to feedback a ton. It's absolutely insane. One of the community managers already follows me on Twitter, so they're trying to actively get people's opinions, which I like, and I think it's a huge thing. But when you're going to give your opinion, guys, to Mojang, I'll leave all the links down below if you want to submit feedback to them. You can't just leave the claim of bring back 1.8 PvP because 1.9 sucks, or keep 1.9 PvP because 1.8 sucks. You have to have a fair, drawn out like reasoning behind it. You can't just justify it by it sucks or it's not good or I don't like it. Those aren't justifications. You need to have a justification for your argument that makes sense and that is backed up by reason or facts, not opinion, because opinionated opinions are opinions. They're just that. You need to have some facts behind it. Regardless, that's going to do it for my video, and I'll see you guys in another one. Brick Builder signing off.